Hello, hi, welcome to Project 8.15 or the Kagerou Project Iceberg. I am Konuhara, your local Kagerou obsessed idiot, and this is my first and hopefully not last YouTube video. And happy Kagerou Day, assuming that I'm able to post this on August 15. And I'm also assuming that most of you already know what the Kagerou Project is if you're watching this. And for those of you who don't know, this iceberg can serve as a mini introduction as long as you don't continue down the later tiers because they contain huge spoilers. And obviously, you already know what an iceberg is, hopefully. But before we start, I would like to thank the Kagerou 24 for the inspiration behind this Kagerou Project Iceberg. She made the original Kagerou Iceberg appear on YouTube as well. She also helped with the making of this iceberg along with Seth Omega, a well-known guy in the community. He actually planned to make a Kagerou iceberg himself, but we decided that we should collab our icebergs instead. So big thanks to Miga for giving this iceberg a chance to be even better. Also, big thanks to the other people who shared and gave suggestions on our Discord server for Project 8.15. Now then, the introduction is done, so let's talk about the first entry for the iceberg, which is the series itself, the Kagerou Project. The Kagerou Project is a multimedia series that was created by Vocaloid music producer Jin, or also known as Shinsen no Takepi. The story focuses on a group of teenagers with certain powers called eye abilities that they obtain from snakes with powers. They call themselves the Mikakuchidan. The project began on February 17, 2011 when the first song of the series, Jinso Enemy, was released on Nico Nico. The series initially started as a Vocaloid song series in which a manga with 13 volumes and a light novel with 8 volumes was produced that shares the name Kagerou Days. An anime was also produced named Mekaku City Actors. There are a total of 34 Kagerou songs produced throughout the series. Vocaloid. Vocaloid is a software used for singing voice synthesizers. This platform was used by Jin in order to start the project by using Vocaloids such as Hatsune Miku, first used for the song Jinso Enemy, and Iya, first used in the song Headphone Actor. However, not all the songs in the series used Vocaloids, such as Days, and Red. Jin, also known as Shinsen no Takepi, is a Japanese musician, producer, novelist, and screenwriter. Known as the creator of the Kagerou Project, he was born on October 20 of 1990 in Rishiri Island, a small island in Hokkaido. Aside from the Kagerou Project, Jin also produced other Vocaloid songs and worked on other series as well, such as Nirvana and Listener, Hatsune Miku, and Iya. They are the main Vocaloids used throughout the Kagerou Project itself, with Hatsune Miku being the first Vocaloid used with songs like Jinso Enemy and Kagerou Days, then Iya being used more in the earlier songs like Kuso Forest and Yobanashi Deceive, while some songs, both Miku and Iya were used, such as Shinigami Record and Konuhara no Sekai Jijo, and then back to Miku for all the songs in the Mikaku City Reload album. The Kagerou Project Wiki. The Kagerou Wiki is the official fan wiki for the Kagerou Project as a whole. This is where most of the sources came from during the making of this iceberg. It includes several information about the series, and it is probably the best website for new fans that really want to understand the series. So, I suggest going through the wiki first before going further down the later tiers. Mekaku City Actors is the anime of the Kagerou Project, considered as the ending of the series itself because of the Mikakushidan finally stopping the Snake of Clearing Eyes, the main antagonist of the series. It was produced by Studio Shaft and written by Jin himself. It starts off similarly to the other routes, with Shintaro, the shut-in NEET, and the protagonist decides to leave his house for the first time in 2 years to buy a new keyboard that he never got, with her cybergirl companion, Ene. The episodes are named after several songs from the series itself, such as Jinso Enemy, Lost Time Memory, and Ayano's Theory of Happiness. The TV version of the anime was streamed on Funimation and it was streamed in Crunchyroll, however it was removed on April of 2021. Recently though, Japan Prime Video and Tsutaya Discus has been streaming Mikako City Actors again, and rumors in the Japanese community say that Mikako City Actors might be coming to Netflix soon. The Kagerou Days manga. It is the official manga for the series that was illustrated by Mahiro Sato and has 13 volumes. If you want to start the series, then I suggest reading the manga first. The manga has 2 routes, Manga Route 1 and Manga Route 2. Route 2 being the first route within the series itself. In the ending of the manga, it is revealed how Shintaro got his eye powers, the snake of retaining eyes, where he made the promise to never forget, one of the most important moments in the series. Other stuff from the manga will be discussed later because of spoilers. Roots. The roots are kind of like different timelines within the series that connect each Kagerou media with each other. Each route starts with Asami creating the world, in which it ends with Mary rewinding the world over and over, which results in several different events and outcomes within the routes themselves. There are many routes if you include the anthologies and other non-official stuff, but only 7 if not. This includes the music route, the songs in the series, Route XX, which is a part of the music route, specifically Jinso Enemy and Lost Time Memory, Manga Route 1 and 2, the movie route, the novel route, and the anime route. The music route. The music route is what started the Kagerou project itself. It consists of several Vocaloid songs all produced by Jin and are all connected, and it is where most of the fan speculation started. And it became a huge hit within the Vocaloid scene during that time because no one has ever started a song series using original characters instead of Vocaloids. Children Record is considered as the opening of the music route and Summertime Record as the ending. You can watch the songs in any order to be honest, but my preferred order is Children Record, Shinigami Record, Gunjo Rain, Kuso Forest, Shonen Brave, Never Lost Word, Yobanashi Deceive, Ayano's Theory of Happiness, UK Yesterday, Tomei Answer, Additional Memory, Dead and Sick, Jinso Enemy, Headphone Actor, NS Cyber Journey, Mekakushi Code, Kisaragi Attention, My Funny Weekend, Kagerou Days, Konoha no Sekai Dio, Otsukimi Recital, Lost Time Memory, Outer Science, Mari no Kaku Sekai, Summertime Record. Kagerou Days. Kagerou Days, technically spelled days but I like calling it days, is the song that will overwhelm your eyes. It is the 3rd song in the series to be released and is probably one of the most popular songs within the series, with the series literally being named after it. It talks about Hibiya Amamiya and Hiyori Asahina's time within their own Kagerou Days, where Hiyori keeps dying in a loop as Hibiya tries to save him over and over. In the end, Hibiya sacrifices himself only to reveal that Hiyori was doing the same the entire time. The song basically introduced the concept of what the Kagerou Days is and everything about this song to the vibe it gives, and the story helped the project quickly gain traction within the Vocaloid community, eventually serving as a popularity boost for the Kagerou project itself. This is where Wan Yanpu, one of the producers and artists for the series, became recognized by Jin himself. Children Record. Children Record is the opening song of the series, the story of children's faces and the story of seeing things with your eyes. It was illustrated by Shidu, The music video shows several important plot points within the series as well as introduce all the main characters. A remake of the song named Children Record Reboot was released on April 1st of 2021. Shidu. Shidu is one of the main producers and illustrators for the series itself, where she first met Jin on Twitter because of Jinso Enemy. Her first song in the series was Mekakushi Code, where she designed Kido. And after that, she did most of the songs in the series and worked together with Wanyanpo in some songs. She also directed and wrote the Kagerou Days in a Days movie. She also created her own multimedia project series called Spinoid. Wanyanpo. Wanyanpo is another main producer and artist for the series. Just as stated earlier, she joined Jin's team because Jin approached her due to her fan envy for Kagerou Days, which got a lot of attention. Alongside Shidu, she also illustrated other songs in the series such as Imagination Forest, her first song in the series. Mikakushidan. The Mikakushidan, or Blindfold Gang, is the group founded by Ayano Tateyama to help her foster siblings to accept their eye abilities, assigning each member with a number. Later on, after Ayano passes away, Kido becomes the commander and serves as the leader of the group because of Kano's suggestion. Later on, Seto brings Mary into their group and becomes Mikakushidan number 4. The number of members grows after the mall terrorist incident from 4 members to 9. Their current hideout is an apartment numbered 107. The members of the Dan can switch up from route to route, specifically with Hibiya and Hiyori, with either Hibiya getting the focusing eyes or Hiyori getting them, such as the case with Manga Route 2. Sometimes Hiyori is just considered as Mikakushi Dan 10. Project Sekai Collabs. Project Sekai Colorful Stage is a rhythm game that mainly focuses and features Vocaloid songs, which also means that Kagerou Project songs are featured here. Featured songs include Kagerou Days covered by Leonid and Children Record by BBS, which is a part of the Kage Pro song campaign. Yubanashi Deceived by BBS and Summertime Record by Leonid and Kisaragi Attention for More Jump. All of these have been added as well outside of the collaboration and have their own new remixes. Fun detail with Summertime Record is that on hard mode, the full score is 815, which references August 15. Eye abilities. The eye abilities are the abilities or powers that the Mikakushidan and other characters have, all originating from the Medusa Asami. The eye abilities are actually snakes that Asami created throughout her lifetime to use for her survival. They are manifestations of her wishes. The main snake, the queen snake or the snake of combining eyes, is responsible for the creation of the other snakes. When a normal person receives these abilities, their eyes turn red when using the powers similar to Asami's eyes. There are a total of 12 known eye abilities, one being from Mari and is different from the other snakes. The concealing eyes was created due to Asami's desire to hide from humans and was received by Tsubomi Kido because of her desire to disappear. Basically, it can turn the user invisible as long as there is no physical contact with other people. The stealing eyes were created for Asami to understand and communicate with others, even animals. Seto received this snake because of his desire to understand the people around him. The deceiving eyes was created for a similar purpose to the concealing eyes, which is to disguise herself. Kano received the snake because of his desire to lie and hide what he really feels to protect his mother. The locking eyes, which is a genetic ability that basically works like Medusa's actual eyes. The drawing eyes were created for Asami to draw attention to her or away from her. Momo received this because of her desire to receive attention. The opening eyes were created for Asami to separate her consciousness to her physical body, though it isn't confirmed. Similarly to Ene's desire to be freed from her body that has an illness which allows her to travel around the internet. The focusing eyes were created so Asami can locate anything in the world. Hibiya received the snake so he can find and save Hiyori, which the eyes allow him to see past through walls and through long distances, and even through the Kagerou days itself. The awakening eyes was created to give Asami a physical form and was received by Haruka Kokonose because of his desire for a better body, which he rejected, resulting in the creation of Konoha, the physical manifestation of the snake of awakening eyes. I'll be skipping the retaining and clearing eyes for now since they have their own entries. The favoring eyes was created through Asami's desire to let Shion, her daughter, to understand her thoughts. It was obtained by Ayano Tateyama because of her desire to give her thoughts and memories to others. Mikako City Actors, the album. It is Jin's official album released on February 5th of 2012. Songs such as Headphone Actor, Kagerou Days, Kuso Forest, Mikakushi Code, Jinso Enemy, and album-only songs such as Tome Answer and NS Cyber Journey were released. This is where Giant Panzermask was also first used. First Place. First Place is the company that previously owned the Kagerou Project franchise, before it was claimed that Ripty actually has the copyright to the series. First Place also produced the IA voice bank. Most of the music videos for the Kagerou project are posted on their channel. They also manage some merchandise for a while. Mahiro Sato. Mahiro Sato is the illustrator for the Kagerou Days manga as mentioned earlier. She discovered the Kagerou project through a competition to serialize it into a manga. Shintaro Kisaragi is the protagonist of the series and the so-called shut-in knit, and is the current holder of the retaining eyes, which lets him remember past roots. His character design was by Shidu, and he is the brother of Momo Kisaragi and Mikako Shidan number 7. He is shown to be a smart but stubborn person during his high school days, seeing the world as boring. He was Ayano's friend during high school. However, Ayano's death really had an impact on him, leading to his eventual self-isolation. Ayano Tateyama. Ayano Tateyama is the founder of the Mikako Shidan, and she is usually seen to be wearing her red scarf, which she began to wear to help her foster siblings. In the series, she sacrifices her own life to stop the clearing eyes plan. And in the anime ending, she returns back to the real world and lives with her friends. She is shown to be a cheerful and lively girl, always caring about the happiness of others. Ene. Ene, or Takane Enemoto, is Shintaro's former schoolmate and now cybergirl companion. Her design closely resembles that of Hatsune Miku, especially on the original Jinso Enemy video. Her abilities allow her to separate her consciousness from her body, which allows her to manifest herself as a cyber spirit or something like that. Ene's lively and energetic personality was on purpose so that she can help Shintaro. Complicated story. The project is also known for its very complicated story because of the different routes. The Kagerou Days. The Kagerou Days is the world where no one dies, created by Asami, for the original purpose of living forever with her family. However, it was used by Asami to isolate herself instead, because of the incident with her family, to keep them safe. However, years passed and her daughter, Shion, had a child named Mari. One day on August 15, a group of hunters find and unalive them, and on this day, the rule was made that whoever dies on August 15 gets swallowed up by the Kagerou Days. In the Kagerou Days, Asami gives Shion the Queen Snake. However, Shion passes the snake to Mari, allowing Mari to live the Kagerou Days. But because of this, the rule of anyone who dies on August 15 will forever remain unless it is changed by Mari. So, anyone who enters the days can gain one of Asami's snake and return to the real world. That's a basic summary of how the Kagerou Days works. Asami is the Medusa and the creator of the Kagerou Project world, the original holder of the Queen Snake, and created all of the other snakes except for the Snake of Retaining Eyes. She originally didn't have a name, but her husband, Tsukihiko, is the one who gave her the name Asami. She was indifferent and didn't think good about humans until she met Tsukihiko. Even though she lived before the world was ever created, she herself still doesn't understand what emotions are. She is sensitive and mostly acts like a child. Even though she's a Gorgon based on the actual mythology, the series itself refers to her as the Medusa. August 15 is also her birthday, the same day she isolated herself in the Kagerou days, and the Kagerou Project anniversary. The Snake of Clearing Eyes, or Saero, or Kuroha, or earlier in the fandom he was called Black Konoha, is the main antagonist of the series. It was created through Asami's desire to understand herself, making it her biggest wish that gave the Clearing Eyes the consciousness that most of the other snakes don't have. It is also implied that he knows about the other roots and know that they exist. Thus, the reason why he keeps making Mari reset the world over and over in order to quote-unquote live forever. In most roots, he takes over the body of Kenjiro Tateyama and Konoha. Its main power is that it'll do anything to grant its user's wish, while at the same time using that person to achieve his own personal goals. The Kagerou Days novels. The Kagerou Days novels is a light novel series consisting of 8 volumes and were all written by Jin and illustrated by Shido. The novel route takes place after the manga and music routes. The first volume, In the Days, narrates the mall incident once again, as well as Hibiya and Hiyori's experience within the Kagerou Days. The second volume, A Headphone Actor, focuses on Takane's backstory before becoming Ene and the Mikako Shidan's time in the amusement park. The third volume, The Children Reason, talks about how Hibiya and Hiyori ended up in the days along with Konoha, and how after that, Momo helping Hibiya to activate his new abilities. The fourth volume, The Missing Children, talks about Asumi's past and some of the Mikako Shidan members exploring her home with Mari. The fifth volume, The Deceiving, is from Kano's perspective as he tells Ene his past, Ayano's plan to stop the Clearing Eyes, and his connection with the Clearing Eyes itself. The sixth volume, Over the Dimension, is where Shintaro enters the Kagerou Days, where he finds Haruka. Haruka talks about his past, and it is revealed that Konoha, possessed by the Clearing Eyes, unalived Shintaro. The seventh volume, From the Darkness, talks about Kido's backstory and the Clearing Eyes killing most of the members of the Dan, as Asami takes control of Mari and locks up the Clearing Eyes within the Kagerou Days. The last volume, Summertime Reload, talks about the surviving members being Mari, Seto, and Hibiya, as Seto tries to be strong for Mari, who he thinks doesn't remember what happened to their friends. Hibiya using focusing eyes to call their friends inside the Kagerou Days, as they all decide for Mari to reset once again, leading to my favorite ending within the series. Line stickers. First Place actually made official line stickers, all based around the Kagerou Project, and particularly the music video of Days, based on what the Mikako Shidan are wearing. If you use line, then lucky for you, they still sell them at the official line store. Seek at Mikako City. Seek at Mikako City was a video event that was streamed throughout August 7 to 15 of 2016 to commemorate the 5th anniversary of the series. It consists of 4 episodes, all of them being 15 minutes long. It was hosted on Nico Video Stream, and in its end, Mikako City Reload was announced. I will be talking about that in a later entry. The main summary of its plot is basically the Dan were invited to visit a mansion on August 15, where they were separated into groups and were made to solve puzzles. Mari Kasupura. Mari is the 4th member of the Mikako Shidan and is the current holder of the Queen Snake and has the ability of the Locking Eyes, which was passed down to her family. Being the oldest member of the Mikako Shidan, her age being 140, it's ironic how she's the most taken care of. She is one of the most important characters in the series, since she's responsible for all the loops. She created the retaining eyes to be given to Shintaro at the end of Manga Route 2. Kagerou Days in a Days. Kagerou Days in a Days is a short anime film by Jumonji Studio about the mall terrorist incident that the Mikako Shidan stops. In this route, all members, including Hiyori, are already gathered within the mall terrorist incident. The terrorists are given more detail and are actually more prepared this time in the film. And it is revealed that one of the terrorists have an eye ability or is possessed possibly by the snake of clearing eyes, because in the end of the movie, it is shown that there is a bomb underneath the mall, which could mean that they all got unalived after the movie, which causes another reset, meaning that this movie is possibly the shortest route. The character designs were done by Kei Tsuchiya, and like I said earlier, it was directed by Shido. The song Red was used as the ending song for this film. Kagerou will never end. During a 2016 interview with Tsutaya, Jin stated that the Kagerou project will never end. But based on the state of the project the following years, I'm pretty sure that it's safe to expect that there will be no new stuff to come for now. This is probably because of the cancellation of Mikako City reboot due to copyright issues that I don't really want to talk about too much in this video. The anime is the ending. It's very obvious that if you compare the ending of the anime to the other routes, the anime route has the best ending in terms of all the members surviving, including Ayano and Hiyori. It's safe to assume that the anime itself is the final route of the series, where Saeru is finally defeated and marks the end of the loops. Route XX. Route XX is somewhat a part of the music route, as I mentioned before. Basically, it's shown in some of the music videos, like Jinso Enemy and the second part of Lost Time Memory. The main difference with this route from the others is that Shintaro never goes out of his room and continues to live as a shut-in knit, which made his mental state even worse, and then he eventually unalived Ene. Ene's design is based on Hatsune Miku. This is just very obvious at this point. The series started with Hatsune Miku because of Jinso Enemy, and Ene's first design seriously looks like Miku a lot. In some cases, Miku is used for the voice of Ene. An example of this is during the Live in Mikako City Summer 13 concert. Mari, 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 or Mari. This is just referring to how in each Kagerou media, Mari's name is always spelled differently. In the manga and light novels, her name is M-A-R-I-E, Mari. In the final novel, her name is spelled as Mari. It's just one of the many inside jokes in the community that Mari's name has many variations. Tommy Answers and Paper Cranes. Tommy Answer is the story where one averts their eyes. The song talks about Shintaro's and Ayano's past as classmates. Shintaro is shown to be very smart but dull and boring because of his view of the world. Ayano isn't that smart but is a cheerful and lively girl who always tries to cheer Shintaro up. One day, Shintaro saw Ayano crying alone, but he was too scared to actually try and comfort her, and he ended up walking away. Later, Ayano dives to that, and Shintaro blames himself for not noticing sooner. Not seeing the answer was always in front of him, yet he couldn't solve the problem. The symbol of a paper crane is used throughout the song, contrasting Shintaro's view of the world being boring. In the end, the tests that Shintaro saw as boring were actually being turned into paper cranes by Ayano, showing Shintaro that no matter how boring the world is, that doesn't mean you should throw your life away. Summertime Record. Summertime Record is the ending of the music route where the Dan is shown to be living peacefully. However, unlike in the anime, Ayano and Hiyori aren't shown to be present in this route. Also, it isn't implied on how they exactly beat Saeru in this route. Though because of the anime ending, it is implied that the original music video for the Summertime Record isn't a full-on happy ending because Mari still ends up resetting due to unknown reasons. August 15. August 15 is the most important date in the series. It is Asami's birthday and the anniversary, which is today, hopefully. Asami's last wish to swallow anyone who dies on August 15 was the last wish she used before giving up the snake to her daughter, which was passed on to Mari. The rule being anyone who dies on August 15 gets swallowed up by the Kagerou days and is given the chance to take one of Asami's snake and return to the real world. UK Quartet. The UK Quartet is a fan term derived from the song UK Yesterday. The UK quartet consists of Takane Enemoto, Ayano Tateyama, Haruka Kokonose, and Shintaro Kisaragi, who were all revealed to be students in the same school in the UK Yesterday music video. The Snake of Retaining Eyes. The Snake of Retaining Eyes was formerly Ayano Tateyama during the first route in the series, Manga Route 2. The end of that route shows Mari turning Ayano into the snake from her wish to never forget the tragedy, which she passes on to Shintaro. Therefore, in all the routes, there is only one Snake of Retaining Eyes. She sees everything about Shintaro's experience and can make him remember everything from past routes. She usually talks to Shintaro in his dreams, and she is the only snake not to be created by Asami herself. The Clearing Eyes was used to revive Hiyori in the anime. This refers to the end of the anime where the Mikako Shidan finally beats Sayero through Konoha's wish, which he stated that he wants to keep his word to Hibiya to keep Hiyori safe. In the end, Sayero becomes a new life for Hiyori, basically giving Hiyori the Snake of Clearing Eyes even though it isn't active. Technically, the Snake of Clearing Eyes didn't die or disappear. It's just dormant, serving as the life for Hiyori. But the wish is very vague and maybe Hiyori is just technically immortal now. Manga has two parts or routes. As already mentioned before, there are two parts of the manga. Route 1 being what usually happens in every route, the terrorist attacks, the Dan goes to the amusement park, and then get unalived by Sayero. Then Shintaro talks to the Snake of Retaining Eyes, and she tells him about the first route. Manga Route 2. Manga Route 2 is very different from the other routes, with many differences such as Ayano never dying, Hiyori getting the focusing eyes, Seto bringing Mari home earlier, the UK quartet never forming, and the terrorist attack never happening because Konoha just straight up stopped them by himself. In the end, it is shown that Mari turns the Ayano of this route into the Snake of Retaining Eyes. And after this, the manga goes back to the other route and the reset starts once again. Manga Route 1 are chapters 1 to 18 and Manga Route 2 are chapters 18 to the end. Tono. Tono is Shintaro's pet bunny in Manga Route 2. She was the reason why Shintaro went out of his room on this route. Tono means my lord. Shaft Studios. Shaft Studios is the main studio responsible for producing Mikako City actors. They also produced other anime such as the Monogatari series, Nisekoi, and Madoka Magica. Sayuki is another producer and artist for the Kagerou Project. He is the main artist for Kagerou Days No. 9 and Mikako City Quest. He is also the artist for the Children Record Reboot music video. Mikako City Quest. Mikako City Quest is an escape game collaboration with Scrap in Enoshima, Kanagawa Prefecture. It was playable from September 14 to November 17 of 2019. The main thing about this is Ene shows up in your phone and then disappearing after. Shintaro then calls you to help find Ene. The reward for its completion is a ticket for the premiere of Kagerou Days No. 9, Konoha and Haruka. This is something that most of the people in the fanbase are already aware of, but for those newer fans, Haruka and Konoha aren't the same person. Konoha is the Snake of Awakening Eyes, although Haruka and Konoha do share the same body. Queen Snake. Also known as the Snake of Combining Eyes, it is Asami's first and main snake. It controls all of the other snakes, and it is also stated that this snake is the reason for the world's creation. It is considered the most powerful snake since it can literally create new timelines and reset them, such as the case with Mari. Mikako City Reload. This entry refers to two things, the album and the announced anime. Mikako City Reload is the last released album for the Kagerou Project, featuring 7 songs. Most of the songs are actually connected with the novel route. While the anime was announced on 2016, during the Seek at Mikako City event, there are no new updates about the anime, the last one being on 2019. Mari's Imaginary World and Outer Science. Outer Science is where Sayero unalives the Dan, and Mari's Imaginary World is where Mari resets the world once again. Although in a limited edition version of Mikako City Records, there is an accompanying manga also called Mari's Imaginary World, showing the events of both Outer Science, and the song, which ended up to be just a dream. The Tateyama household consists of Kenjiro, Ayaka, and Ayano Tateyama, along with the adopted children Tsubomi Kido, Shuya Kano, and Kosuke Seto, which ended up falling apart after Ayaka's and then Ayano's eventual death. 10th Anniversary. The Kagerou Project's 10th anniversary occurred on August 15 of 2021. Many merchandise and the Children Record reboot were released as a part of the anniversary. Children Record Booklet. This was a commentary booklet included in the limited edition version of the Children Record album. It includes commentary about the songs. Kagerou Project Breakdown Book. It is a book about the project published by Enterbrain, talking about several characters and important information about them, as well as talking about the songs, just like the Children Record booklet. Welcome to my home. As much as I didn't want to add this entry, this iceberg won't be complete if this entry isn't here. But first, the first chorus of Outer Science where he welcomes us to his home for some reason. It eventually became a huge meme in the fandom, but it's probably related to the rewinding and rebirth of the world that he forces Mary to do. Mikako City Reboot is a supposed to be collection of song and music video remakes for the 10th anniversary of the Kagerou Project. However, it is considered unreleased due to several copyright issues, and it is unclear if it's gonna be released anytime soon, since Jim himself doesn't know where the copyright of the series is. The Clearing Eyes motives. The Clearing Eyes' main motives for forcing Mary to reset the world is firstly, it hates the world because it changed Asami's wish through meeting Sukihiko, making the Snake of Clearing Eyes lose its purpose. Secondly, it wants to preserve its own life. But if that's the case, does that mean the snakes can still die due to aging? Because it's a weird and pointless motive if you're literally immortal already. Mikako City M's. This album is the official OST for Mikako City Actors, being split into two CDs, being Mikako City M's 1 and 2. The first two discs contain songs from most of the series. There are two other CDs that contain the official OST for the anime. The first album cover depicts Shintaro and Asami, while the second one shows Mari. Sukihiko. Sukihiko is Asami's husband and the father of Shion Kosakura. Before he met Asami, he was a soldier in an unknown war. He was considered as an outcast by his village. That's why he ran away to the forest where he met Asami. Lost Day Hour. Lost Day Hour is a song from the Mikako City Reload album. It also comes with an extra chapter where it shows Haruka asking each member of the Mikako Shidan what a friend is. Because of the people present in this chapter, it's assumed that this takes place after the ending of the anime, showing their lives after the events of Mikako City Actors. Rin Kido. Rin is Tsubomi's older half-sister. She cared deeply for Tsubomi to the point that she protected Tsubomi from their own father. She and Tsubomi both got swallowed by the Kagerou days when they were caught up in the mansion fire. Unlike Seto and Kano, Tsubomi is the only one with a named relative outside the Tateyama household. Fireworks at the Summer's End. Fireworks at the Summer's End is the last song in the Mikako City Reload album. The reason why it's a relevant song is because it is clearly about the ending of the Kagerou Days light novels. In the ending of the novel, Seto and Mari at a festival where Mari decides to reset the world once again as the fireworks show goes on, mirroring the lyrics of the song. The movie is the shortest route. As stated earlier, the movie is the only known route where all the stakeholders were present during the mall incident, with the Snake of Clearing Eyes setting up a bomb that presumably killed all the Mikako Shidan members except for Mari, making it the shortest route both in story and as a form of media because it's just a 30-minute film. Kano being the actual leader. Jin himself stated that Kano is the secretly acting leader of the Mikako Shidan, even though Kido is numbered as 1. This is probably because Kano is the one that knows most about the clearing ice plan, as shown in the anime, where he agrees to work with the snake to protect his family. He also knows the real reason behind Ayano's unaliving. Anthologies. Kagerou Project also has several anthologies, from anthology novels to comics. There are 2 anthology novels and several anthology comics, such as Upper, Downer, Summer, Winter, Spring, Bitter, Sweet, Spicy, Fantasy, Remember, and Future, all of which features the Mikako Shidan on several stories. My Little Days, The Old Days. Both of these were included in the single Days Days. My Little Days is a booklet showing Ayano's perspective before she actually meets and talks to Shintaro. The Old Days is a drama CD actually showing Shintaro's and Ayano's first interaction. Shintaro helped Ayano study for their tests in this drama CD. Clearing ice in the movie. It is shown in the movie that one of the terrorists actually has an eye ability. In the very start of the movie, it is shown that the group saw a terrorist with red eyes, but they didn't end up finding out who exactly that terrorist was. In the end, it can be concluded that the snake of clearing ice, instead of helping the other terrorists, focused more on setting up the actual bomb. Jin's covers of Kagerou songs. There are several videos out there showing Jin singing almost all of the songs in the project. Most of them are from live streams. Color symbolism. Throughout the series, it's noticeable how color is used to symbolize several things. This can be seen through the character designs, songs, and the visuals used throughout the series. The most common one being the color red, being an important component throughout the series. I won't go deeper into this since it's just an entry, but this is one of those entries that I think deserve their own video. Ships. The Kagerou Project fandom is also known for their ships. Most are good, some are questionable, and some... But I won't discuss much about this because I don't want to make some people angry. But my top 3 ships are Shintaro and Ayano, Haruka and Takane, and Seto and Mari. Fanworks. There are a lot of fanworks of the project out there. Some of them will even have their own entries here. Some works make their own stories, some expand on the given story in the series, and some are just for fun. Ayano and Yaki refers once again to the fact that Ayano and the Snake of Retaining Ice are 2 different entities. So instead of referring to the snake as Ayano, the fan base gave her another name, which ended up being Yaki, derived from the Snake of Retaining Ice, the legend of the Medusa. The legend of the Medusa refers to the story within universe of Asemi's creation, which has no real connections with the actual Greek mythology. The only reason why Jin refers to Asami as a Medusa is because of her connections with snakes, and the fact that she can turn people into stone. The best representation of the legend can be found in the anime, where at the end of each episode a part of the legend is shown, showing Asami's journey up until the first tragedy and when she goes into the Kagerou Days, leaving her family behind. Kano is the cat in Kagerou Days. There are many things that suggest that Kano is actually the cat in Kagerou Days the song. Even though it wasn't stated directly in the novels, it is implied that Kano follows Hibiya and Hiyori before the events of Kagerou Days happen. This is where Kano uses his eye ability to turn into a cat, which is why Hibiya noticed the cat has red eyes. Another reason is Kano working with Saeru in gathering all the snakes. He is also literally described as having cat-like eyes. Hanako and Hanao. Hanako is an abandoned dog who ended up being Seto's first friend. It's assumed that they both got swallowed by the Kagerou Days, but it's also funny to think that there's a possible route out there where Hanako got the stealing eyes instead. Hanao is Seto's pet hamster based on the children record booklet. And to be clear, the hamster from the forest is a different hamster. That hamster is the forest chief, but it does make sense that Seto named his pet hamster Hanao after his dog friend Hanako. Tomodachi no Uta is probably one of the most obscure songs in the series. This song is sung from Momo's perspective and was exclusive for the first edition of Mikako City Talkers Volume 1. What's funny is this song was included in the 2019 popularity poll, and obviously it got last place. Still though, it's still a pretty cute song. Maternity Spiral.
8日比谷です。目隠し団団員ナンバー8日比谷です。目隠し団団員ナンバー8日比谷です。え、もうほんま新番組マタニティスパイラルよろしくお願いします。
Maternity Spiral is the official anime for the Kagerou Project and is considered as the ending of the same. Old Canon refers to the days when the series was still ongoing and many of the important plot details haven't been released yet. The fanbase made a lot of headcanons back then, and a popular one is when people called Kagerou back then Black Konuhara because of his first appearance in the children record music video. Another one is Konoha and Haruka being the same person. Other headcanons or theories back then include Konoha and Mari being related. I'm sure there are many more fan stuff like this, but it'll take too long to research them all for this iceberg. And it's another entry that probably deserves a video on its own. Kagerou City Reload fan-made trailer refers to the fan-made teaser Masumaru made for the announced Kagerou City Reload. Most of the scenes in this video were from the novels. All I could say is that the teaser looks too real and good to be fan-made. I hope if an official teaser will even be released that it will look just as good as this one, to be honest.
Clearing Ice Hibiya. This is when in manga Route 2, the Clearing Ice takes over Hibiya's body instead because Kenjiro is dead. This is because Hibiya's desire is to save Hiyori, and then after that, he ends up killing Kido and Momo. And then he kills himself inside Hibiya's body so that he can take over Konoha's body once again.
Not Here, Tsubame-chan is one of the more popular and well-known stories from the Kagerou anthology series. It was created by Ryusei, a well-known artist in the Vocaloid community. It is a recurring series for most of the anthologies, and it features a small and round Tsubame Kido doing random things with a weird version of the Mikaku Shidan. The entire comic was revealed to be the work of Momo. Mikaku City Talkers. Mikaku City Talkers is another anthology series posted on Fixib during March 2018 to November 2018 and was supervised by Jin himself. Illustrated by Asahi Machi and composed by Haruaki Higuchi, it consists of chat logs from the Mikaku Shidan's group chat and expanded on the character interactions between all the members of the Dan. The first volume included the song Tomodachi na Uta. Mikaku Shidan Watchers. Mikaku Shidan Watchers is an ARG campaign for the Kagerou Project during the summer of 2014. It's about the Mikaku Shidan trying to find a missing girl named Sasha with the help of the Watchers, the people who were participating in the ARG. T-san and Sasha. They are the two new characters introduced during the Mikaku Shidan Watchers ARG event. T-san is a friend of the Mikaku Shidan and is an author with low book sales. He was asked by the Dan to help find Sasha, the missing girl, and he ended up being in charge of the entire ARG event. Sasha, the missing girl, also has a lot of missing details about her because the game itself can't be accessed and the books were never translated, so information about these characters is really hard to find. Hitoribochi Cradle. It is a fan-made song from the one and only Breadbox. The song is sung from Sukihiko's perspective and is so accurate that it feels like a real Kagerou song. Aside from this song, Breadbox also made a lot of videos discussing the lore of the Kagerou Project. His videos were actually the reason why I got into the series. The anthologies are canon. This suggests that the anthologies are canon and are their own separate routes in the series. Shintaro is a Vocaloid producer. Refers to Shintaro being a Vocaloid producer or is at least trying to be one. As shown in the first chapter of the manga, he finished producing a song in the Vocaloid program and says that it will be a hit. It was also partially the reason why Shintaro spilled coke on his keyboard. But still, I think it's a good little detail when it comes to the Kisaragi siblings both doing something music related. The Ayano episode. Here we go. For some reason,
the original version of episode 9 of the anime used 3D CGI for the Ayano Studio of Happiness segment. All I can say is that it's very cursed and hard to watch since the characters looked so uncanny. Luckily, it received a 2D remake when the anime was released on Blu-ray and DVD. Wishes equals powers. In the Kagerou Project universe, the way that people within the Kagerou days obtain their power is through their strong desires and wishes. If those wishes align with the snake's original purpose, then the person gets the snake and the eye ability and then returns to the real world. Their greatest wish is their power, just like with Seto, whose biggest desire is to understand others, and Momo's wish being to get the attention of others. Tsukihiko is albino. It's heavily implied that Tsukihiko is an albino, though it wasn't really stated. His village treated him as an outcast because of his light skin and light eyes. 2019 Kagepro Song Popularity Ranking. It was a popularity poll held from August 3 to 13 of 2019, and the results were posted on August 15 of 2019, alongside a short manga by Sayuki to show the top 10 songs. The top 10 songs being Otsukimi Recital, Kagerou Days, Tomei Answer, Additional Memory, UK Yesterday, Outer Science, Children Record, Yubanashi Deceive, Lost Time Memory, and Summertime Record. Kido and Asami. It was revealed in the novels that Kido actually has a deeper past with the Kagerou days and Asami herself. Before leaving the days, she actually met Asami. Asami felt bad because of Kido's and her sister's death and decides to help Kido use her powers to help her hide and forget the memories of her death, which also caused her to forget meeting Asami at all. But she remembers all of this during her death in the novels. It's not confirmed if this also happened in the other routes. Kagebros. The Kagebros Discord server is probably the largest server for the Kagebro community in Discord. There are a lot of cool people here that do fan arts, write their own fanfics, and analyze the lore of the series. Other than that, they also host several Kagebro related events, so you should definitely join this server if you really want to know more about the series. Kano transforming into Ayano. In most routes, Kano transforms into Ayano to help her with her investigation of the Kagerou days, where he went to school as Ayano while the real Ayano was investigating. Other than that, he also used her sister's form to deceive Shintaro as well as be a corpse when the real Ayano was in the Kagerou days, after she unalived herself, as the Clearing Eyes ordered him to do so. Also, when he transformed into Ayano to deceive Shintaro, it was because he hated Shintaro during that point of time, and before Shintaro knew that the real Ayano died, Kano said something like, "It's all your fault," Tateyama, or Asahina horse. But it just refers to how Ayano, Ayaka, and Hiyori, yes, they are all related, all died on August 15, leaving someone they love in the real world, like Hibiya, Kenjiro, and Shintaro. It's also weird how both Kenjiro and Hibiya received the Clearing Eyes because of their wish to save Ayaka and Hiyori. I guess it runs in the family, I guess. Also, in the Lost Day Hour, it's implied the Asahinas all have this scary smile in their family. Kagepro Papercraft refers to the several paper crafts of Ninkaku Shidan that was released by Comic Jin with its several issues. The ones who have their own paper crafts are Shintaro, Ede, Mary, Seto, Momo, Kido, and Kano. Comic Jin also released other merchandise such as stickers and phone cases, and other stuff. Mr. Kosakura. It was never really stated in the series if Tsukihiko's surname is Kosakura, so some assume that Kosakura actually came from Shion's husband. The only thing known about him is that he also knows about the snakes and eye abilities, and also warns Mary to not go outside. Kido doesn't know how to wear pants. A running joke within the community is that Kido can't wear pants properly because the other side of her pants is rolled up. But the real reason behind this is to signify that she's in a gang, which was popular in gangs in the West. Who is Kano talking to? Refers to the start and end of Yubanashi Deceive, where Kano is shown to be talking to someone about his lion and is presumably the person who he sung the song to. However, some say that it could possibly be Ene because of her cameo at the end, and the fact in most roots, Kano always talks to Ene about his past. Shonen Brave Koso Forest Parallels refers to several parallels between the two songs because they are basically the same but sung from different perspectives. Kusa Forest is about being saved by someone, while Shonen Brave is about saving someone. Although both songs show Seto saying different things to describe Mary. I've been living afraid as well, afraid I'd turn to stone, but wouldn't the world be so much better without that fear? Is what he said in Kosa Forest. However, in Shonen Brave, he said, but what if we could be saved like in a picture book? However, the themes of both songs are still very similar. Mary is a Fujoshi. According to Jin himself from the breakdown book, Mary is a Fujoshi, and her favorite anime is Koroshitsuji. It's speculated that Mary's Fujoshi side came from her name being inspired by Morimari, a Meiji-era BL novelist, but this has never been confirmed. Every Kagerou media is its own root. While this is true for the official stuff like manga, music, anime, and novels, it isn't really the case for stuff like the anthologies. This states that every unofficial material, like fan comics, can be considered as its own root as well, because there was never an official count on how many roots there are. Screw you, Kat. This is a very funny mistranslation by the Crunchyroll version of the anime, where Hibiya says, which means serves you right, but the translation just literally changes it to screw you, cat, which then became one of the project's most popular memes because of Hibiya's hate against cats.
Kagepro concerts. There have been many Kagepro concerts held by Jin's team throughout the years, where they played songs in the series. These concerts include Live in Mikako City, Live in Mikako City Summer 13, and Meika Mikako City, which was included in the Mikako City M's bonus DVD.
Oshiru Cola. Oshiru Cola is a soda within the Kagerou Project universe. It is a mix of Oshiroko, red bean soup that can be served in cans in Japanese vending machines, and cola. It's an entirely made-up beverage that only exists within Kagerou. And in the first novel, it is not name-dropped but described as red bean soup soda. But in the anime, it actually has a design. It became a ginormous meme in the Japanese fandom, with people making DIY Oshiru Cola to taste test. But it isn't especially known in the Western fandom, besides a few jokes about the red bean soup soda. Jin draws Shintaro. This entry is just here so we can appreciate Jin's masterpiece. And also, this is what happened when he had help with Shidu. Another masterpiece. And he also drew Kido and Hibiya. And also Mari. And Ene. Kagura Days number 9. It is a planned spin-off series that was set 3 years after the events of the original Kagerou Project. Just like the original series, it was also planned to have an anime, manga, and novel. It was planned to be screened in 2020 but was delayed due to various circumstances. It also introduced an unnamed character illustrated by Sayuki and a new song called Draw. In August of 2021, it was announced that the reason for its delay is because of copyright issues. Draw. Draw is the ending song for the Kagura Days number 9 that was actually released. It's the only Kagerou song sung by Luyo Chanyi, a Chinese Vocaloid. But it's still pretty unknown what this song is about and who it was for. It's a pretty good song though. Anna's birthday. There isn't a confirmed date for Anna's birthday, and her birthday is described as ... Jin stated that he does have plans to reveal Anna's birthday in the future because he considers it as an important date in the series. He also planned to reveal it in his next novel, which presumably is Kagerou Days number 9. Anime recreations of the music videos. There are several songs from the Kagerou project that were also used in the anime, which led to some recreations of the music videos in the anime. showing some of the most iconic moments in the music route, such as Kagerou Days, Headphone Actor, Kuso Forest, and Lost Time Memory. And in Lost Time Memory, it shows Shintaro using his powers by showing the other routes, such as the manga, novels, and even the music videos itself. And I'm not saying that all of the adaptations were good because episode 9 exists. 130 apples. In the children record booklet, Mary's weight is stated to be 130 apples or 39 kilograms. Kanoko is Kano's female version when he used his eye ability, first seen in Yobanashi Deceived. Lost Time Memory, Jinso Enemy Connection refers to the connection between Lost Time Memory and Jinso Enemy, with both songs being sung from different perspectives and both happening in Route XX. The most obvious connection between the two songs is the similar sounds before the chorus. Just like with the Shonen Brave and Kuso Forest similarities, these two songs are also very similar, at least in the second part of Lost Time Memory. Whose song is Remind Blue? The song Remind Blue never had an actual character connected to it. The most likely character to own that song is Shintaro. Some say Seto because of some parts in the lyrics. However, Jin himself stated that the song is about everybody since every character has their own Remind Blue. Yao Mikakushitan refers refers to a shot in the music video 4 Days, where Hibiya is shown next to a signage that says Yao Mikakushi, which ended up being another Hibiya-related meme in the fandom. Jin, quote-unquote, hates Shintaro. Jin considers Shintaro as a very unpleasant character. This is why he doesn't like people comparing him to Shintaro. The reason why people compare him to Shintaro is because Shido actually based Shintaro's jacket design on Jin's own jacket. Seto's ancestors. In the anime, during the scene where the villagers attack Shion and Mari, one of the villagers was actually voiced by the same voice actor as Seto, and actually kinda resembled him. After that, Asami used stealing eyes to scare him off. This led some to assume that he is an ancestor of Seto. Yaki is Sayero's counterpart. Being the retaining eyes, Yaki clearly contrasts Sayero's clearing eyes. While the purpose of the clearing eyes is to end the roots to start a new one, the retaining eyes' purpose is to maintain one root and let it continue until the future. Sayero's goal is to not let that bright future come, while Yaki's goal is to reach that bright future, thus clearing eyes to end the roots and retaining eyes to maintain the roots. Seto's part-time jobs. Seto, to support his family and to overcome his cowardice, started taking on part-time jobs for 3 years before the main story. Though it was never stated what these part-time jobs were, it surely does give him a lot of income because he could support Kano, Kido, and Mary all by himself. Konoha throwing Shintaro. Just something that happens in most routes is that Shintaro and Konoha always have the most random interactions. In the movie, Konoha literally throws Shintaro. In the novels, Konoha hits himself while carrying Shintaro. DaysCon. This is the annual Kagepro online convention that happens every August. It is a really nice online convention where several creators come together and celebrate the Kagerou Project. You can go check the official website to see all the activities they have planned for this year, as well as the guest panelists. However, this year will be the last DaysCon according to the announcement for DaysCon 2025. Time and death doesn't exist in the Kagerou Days. As stated earlier, the Kagerou Days is a world where time doesn't pass, unlike the real world. It was created for the sole purpose of Asami wanting to live forever with her family, meaning you can't really age in the Kagerou Days. Like with the case of Ayano, she was 16 when she entered the Kagerou Days, and after 2 years, she got out of the Kagerou Days during the anime, where she is still physically 16 years old. Kagebro Reanimated. It is a very cool part of DaysCon where several creators come together and recreate music videos from the Kagerou Project. Some of the works they've done throughout the years are reanimates for Days, Children Record, and Lost Time Memory. which were all posted in user Cheesecake Witch's YouTube channel. Mikako City actor's title meaning. This is a theory by both Jace and Setomiga in the server that was turned into an entry for this iceberg, discussing the meaning of the title Mikako City Actors. It originally came from the idea of the original name of the series being the Mikako City Project, before it was turned into the Kagerou Project because Jin didn't want to confuse people because many people were calling the series the Kagerou Project. Mikako City has a double meaning and is a wordplay for Mikakoshi, which sounds like city at the end. And also, this is because the story literally just takes place within a city. The actor's part of the title is more of a symbolism for Sayeru, treating the members of the Dan as characters in a play. The city is their stage, and their fate is the script that will eventually lead to their demise. Summering is one of Jin's most recent songs, released on August 3 of 2024. Many fans actually thought that it was something Kagerou related during the time it was being teased. When it was finally released, a lot of fans really thought it was something Kagerou related because a lot of stuff in the song and the music video gives so much Kagerou vibes, and the boy in the music video looks similar to a certain someone. So Jin himself had to state that it isn't something Kagerou related. It definitely is. Jin's mom helping him with conjuring. This refers to when during an interview, Jin stated that he was actually discussing with her mom about what a mother's love was while writing conjuring. According to Jin, his mom said that every parent would love to see their child understanding love and romance bit by bit. This genuinely just makes Conjuring hit even harder, knowing the thought and love behind the lyrics were genuine. Female Konoha. According to Jin, Konoha was actually planned to be female. However, Jin thought that it didn't suit the character. And if you look at the original design, it actually looks a little bit like Kido. Maybe they changed Konoha's design and just used the design for Kido. Also, if Konoha was originally planned to be a girl, then how about Haruka? The Kagerou Days is a snake. It's a very popular theory that is kind of canon already, that is shown in the anime where the Kagerou Days is shown to be a literal snake, just like any of Asame's creation. Terms like getting swallowed up or the mouth are used when referring to the entrance or how people end up in the Kagerou Days. Also, this one scene in the anime literally just shows a giant snake eating Hibiya, Hiyori, and Konoha. Woof meow oink. If you translate Wanyan Po, it means one, woof, nyan, meow, po, oink, or woof meow oink. Ayaka leaving her family. In the novels, Ayaka actually left her family. A real or clear reason was never really given on why Ayaka left, considering that it was stated that the Asahinas are really rich. Most assume that she left because of a falling out with her parents. Kind enough not to watch refers to one of the last panels of the manga where Yaki is shown being kind enough to leave Shintaro doing his own business. Poor Yaki. Where did the clearing eyes henchman come from? Refers to the anime where Sayeru just casually has a group of guys in his huge lair. They felt so out of place. This is the only route where these guys are present. Like, does Sayeru really need them if they're just gonna get clowned by kids with powers? I mean, to be fair, the terrorists were kinda more incompetent. Fate. Yaki is an anomaly within the roots. This suggests that everything in the series is set and can never change. From the creation of Asami to Mari resetting the world once again. Because firstly, it's weirdly the same group of people always get the same snakes in every room. It is stated that getting a snake is really rare because you need to have the exact wish to get that snake. This also explains why in every route, the clearing eyes manage to win. Everything that happens is already meant to happen in every route. However, there is one thing or someone that doesn't align with how things are meant to happen, and that is the existence of the snake of retaining eyes, which is outside and isn't connected to the tragedy that started with Asami. It holds the memories of the past roots, which can be used to alter fate. This means that Shintaro, the one who was an outsider from the Dan because he doesn't have a snake, or at least they thought so, actually holds the key to alter the fate that always led to the dark future. The snake of retaining eyes is an anomaly because it existed during the past roots and brought the memories of that past root to the current one, leading the Mikako Shidan to beat Saeru in Mikako City Actors. How many people are in the Kagerou days? Although there isn't an exact number stated, it is known that a lot of people are within the Kagerou days. The reason why is because it is extremely rare for one to obtain a snake, because it requires the person to have a very specific wish that is connected with the original purpose of the snake. So probably there could be hundreds of people within the Kagerou days, all just wandering around in their own days. Maki and Suntaro refers to the time Shido wrote Momo's name as Maki and Shintaro's name as Shuntaro. Ene is a computer virus. Ene is a computer virus, a very dangerous virus considering the crazy stuff that she was able to do. Firstly, she can easily open and close apps and can easily scan through your files. Secondly, she can easily hack an entire small security system as long as she can find a way to connect to the other devices. Basically, there is no stopping her from doing what she wants when she uses a device. Headphone Actor is a game. In most routes, it is shown that Headphone Actor is actually the game that Takane and Haruka host during their school festival. The game shares a very similar setting to that of the song and Takane's own days, showing how special this game is for Takane. Flowers. Flowers are heavily used throughout the series, especially in the music videos, to symbolize several things. The most prominent case of this is Asami herself, where Asami is actually another name for a flower called a tistel. In flower language, it means independent, revenge, and don't touch, which are all somewhat related to Asami. And another example of this is Ayano's connection with the chrysanthemum flower. Firstly, November's birth flower is the chrysanthemum, and November 22 is Ayano's birthday. Secondly, it symbolizes happiness and was heavily used in additional memory. Ayano is always represented along with the chrysanthemum flower, and in the music video for Never Lost World, Kido is actually shown with the dogwood flower, and the dogwood flower symbolizes hope and rebirth. Some are time record. Some are time record. Some are time record. Momo commercial. Clearasil actually introduced Momo as one of their new mascots. It's just a very random thing, to be honest, within the fandom, and she also had her own commercial for some reason. This is just one of the many random Kagerou Project collabs. What happened to Yaki at the end of Mikako City Actors? This refers to the ending of the anime, since Ayano did return to the real world. It was never mentioned what happened to Yaki after the events of episode 8. Also, it's assumed that the Dan still do have their eye abilities at the end of the anime. So Yaki is probably still just chilling inside Shintaro's eye, watching the bright future she always wanted to reach. 18 Collab. 18 is a chain puzzle game that had a collaboration with the Kagerou Project. The game was about people with sleeping illnesses who were stuck inside a dream world. During the Kagerou collaboration, it featured Saeru as a boss. The collab also included a version of Children's Record that was sung by Iya and Wan. Newly drawn models for some characters were drawn by the staff and team of the game. 2 collabs actually happened. The first one having the exclusive versions of Kano and Kido and Shintaro and Ene. The second collaboration was Mary and Seto and Ayano. Sony Headphone Ene ad. Sony actually collabed with the Kagerou Project to promote a wireless headphone model. I swear to God they collab with the most random stuff. It featured dubbed over clips from the movie where Ene was advertising the headphones to Shintaro. The funny thing is that the product was actually discontinued. appliances connect the real world and the days. Throughout the series, things like televisions and phones are used to connect the real world and the Kagerou days with each other. The first example being the ending of the light novels. Hibiya used his phone and focusing eyes to call and connect with the Kagerou days. The second one being on both Ayano's Theory of Happiness and Additional Memories music videos. It is shown that Ayano is watching her past memories in the real world through a television, the same way Shintaro watched his entire life in the Kagerou days during the novels, though this is not confirmed or stated in the series. Shintaro wrote the songs. This is a theory that suggests that after the ending of the anime, Shintaro decided to continue on being a Vocaloid producer, where he then used the experiences and memories he gained from all the routes, leading to the Kagerou songs being a thing. Obviously, this isn't true outside the story because Jin made the songs. Or another way of seeing this is that each of them wrote their own songs. Because songs like Kisaragi Attention and Otsukimi Recital are obviously Momo's songs. Maybe Shintaro asked the other members the thoughts they wanted to let out, or maybe if they wanted to talk about their past. But I don't see Shintaro asking the others stuff like that, to be honest. If that was the case, then this is how I think it went. Shintaro by himself, with his memories from the retaining eyes and considering he knows Asami's story, wrote Children Record, Tommy Answer, Remind Blue, Shinigami Record, Days, and Lost Time Memory. With the help of Ene, he wrote Chitso Enemy, UK Yesterday, and A Cyber Journey, and Headphone Actor. With the help of Ayano, he wrote Ayano's Theory of Happiness and Additional Memory. Gibanashi Disibute Kana, Shonen Brave, Kusa Forest, Fireworks at the Summer's End, Gojo Forest, Gojo Rain, and Imaginary Reload with Mari and Seto. Mikakoshi Code and Never Lost Word with Kido, Kagerou Days, Konohano Segejijo, and My Funny Weekend with Hibiya and Hiyori. Summertime Regard and Lost Day Hour with Haruka. And obviously, this is just a weird theory that shouldn't be taken seriously. The snake lives on. In the end of the anime, Saero didn't disappear as stated earlier. Saero still exists but without any consciousness. Basically, the same thing would happen to the Snake of Awakening Eyes if Haruka accepted his body. Since Saero's main purpose is to fulfill the wish of its holder, that's the reason why Kenjiro managed to get free from his control in the end of the anime, because he was able to reunite with Ayaka. Saero is basically forced to keep Hiyori safe and alive, presumably forever. Because if Hiyori does die, then that means the wish wasn't fulfilled, which in turn can't happen because of Saero's purpose. Though, it's unknown what happens if the wish wasn't fulfilled. In the end, Saero did achieve his goal of living forever, but only as Hiyori's life force, which means that Hiyori is basically immortal. Kagerou perfume. Yes, Kagerou perfume was made for some reason. 4 characters, Shintaro, Mari, Kano, and Konoha, were used for the smell of the perfumes. But to be honest, what will they even smell like? Especially Shintaro. It's really hard to find sites that still sell this, but there is actually someone selling the Kano perfume in Amazon. Though, I can find anything online that tells how the perfumes smell. It's just another weird Kagerou Project product in the end. Kagerou Project Love Dating Sim. This is a visual novel collab game by Tumblr users Regio and Shintaro Kisaragi that was made in Ren'P. The art was done by Codeboy and Hiyori Asahina. It features Haruka and Takane being taught by several members of the Mikakushidan as well as other characters within the series. Also, Kenjiro was called Kenshiro for some reason, probably because this visual novel was made during the earlier days of the series. The only reason I found this game was because of Jace sharing it in the server as an entry. So yeah, thank you for this masterpiece. Enekar, a random Reddit post by someone who I can't say the name of, posted this cool photo of an Ene cosplayer beside their car with Ene decals on it. The poster stated that it was actually shown in some conventions before. The numerology theory. The numerology theory is a theory by Seth Omega in the server that discusses how each of the numbers within the Mikakushidan members code actually means something according to the study of numerology. The most noteworthy ones are Mikakushidan number 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. However, since this isn't my theory and I really can't explain it without cutting off important details, hopefully, Seth Omega makes a separate video about it in his channel, discussing how each number correlates to the number of the Mikakoshidan members. So yeah, hopefully he can post a video about this theory, which I think is a really good theory.
Saeru is an Ouroboros. The Ouroboros is an ancient symbol which is shown through a snake eating its own tail, which symbolizes infinity. This suggests that Saeru is the Ouroboros of the Kagerou universe. Saeru is the main reason for the existence of the loops, and the symbol of the Ouroboros is used in the series as well. The real world is a snake. This theory suggests that the real world itself is a snake. Considering most of the things that Asami created are snakes, even the Kagerou days. And if it is the case that Asami is the one who created the real world, there's a high chance that the real world itself is a snake. The first evidence for this theory is that Mari, with all the snakes, can control the world to the point that she resets time. The Kagerou days is a distorted version of the real world, considering the days of each character is different but still resembles the real world. There are some things in the anime that suggest that this is the case, however, it isn't confirmed and is most probably not true. The Kagerou only event. It is an event held in Thailand that is what it says it is. It is a convention completely just about Kagerou. It had two events, Lost Mikakoshi Record and Lost Mikakoshi Record 2. The first LMR was much smaller, only having a stage play and some animated commercials. The second LMR was way bigger with animated projects, an improved stage play, and a live-action version of Ayano's Theory of Happiness. Overall, it was a wonderful event that served as a love letter to the series itself. Seto is a Disney princess. This is another running joke within the fandom where many compare Seto to a Disney princess. Firstly, Seto can talk to animals. He is kind, brave, and hardworking. Disney Princess Seto for the win. The loop will never end. Mari will still eventually outlive all of her friends after the ending of the anime, so maybe somehow Mari can once again absorb all of the snakes and start a new world. But I don't think that's likely to happen, since Mari already accepted the future for what it is during the ending of the anime. She's become stronger through the words of her friends as well. The future of the series. At this point, it's hard to tell where the series is going. It's unclear if the copyright issue is ever gonna be solved, and the latest Kagerou official media releases was the new remixes of the songs for their collabs with Project Iceberg. But what's sure is the fandom won't be dying anytime soon. It might be small, but a lot of creators who do stuff like this are the future of the series. Events like DaysCon connect fans with each other, celebrating the series because it's something very special to them. That is exactly why I made this iceberg, to find fellow fans and help newer ones to get into the series even more. But of course, I do hope Jin gets back the copyright for the project, even though it's unlikely. What it all means. This last entry technically isn't an entry, but it's basically just my own interpretation on what the series really means for me. So, for me, the two words that best describe the series are together and lonely. The series has always been about a group of lonely individuals finding each other in a world of loneliness together with the lonely you. These two introductions for Days and Days really summarizes the series. One of the reasons why the Mikakoshidan beat Saeru in the anime is because they were complete and together, including Ayano and Hiyori. The other reason is Saeru made a mistake by not killing the others immediately, leading to Mari having the heart to stop the loop. Loneliness is what Saeru uses to manipulate Asami into creating the Kagerou days. It is what Saeru uses to take advantage and use Kenjiro's body. It is what Saeru uses to force Mari to reset the world. However, the series tells us that you can use that loneliness to find and save other lonely people. Tsukihiko, who was considered as an outcast and monster, decided to help Asami live and learn to love. Seto, who felt terrified of the world because of the thoughts of others, decided to be brave for someone more vulnerable than him. Ayano, a girl on the verge of losing everything, still found the spirit to be happy for her loved ones. It's hard to lose someone important to you, but it's harder if you let that loneliness consume you. Asami herself was consumed by loneliness. That is why during Lost Time Memory, she was so surprised by Shintaro because she sees herself in him.
The only difference is Shintaro managed to get past that loneliness. This is what I think the series is mainly about, but of course the series tells us a lot of stuff through its characters as well. Ayano shows that being selfless can affect the people around you in more ways than you expect, and that only you can find your own happiness. Shintaro shows that no matter how low your life is now, there is always a chance that you can make things better and you need to accept the past that made you who you are. Mari shows that things can't always be a fantasy. You need to accept reality for what it is and face the future, not alone, but with the people you care for. Takane shows that the people who care most about you are always there by your side, supporting you even if you don't notice. Haruka shows that life is something to be enjoyed and experienced to the fullest. Seto shows that no matter how bad and horrible the world is, that doesn't mean you can't make a difference. Kano shows that no matter how you lie about your feelings, you can never escape those thoughts yourself, and eventually, you'll need someone when it becomes too much. Kido shows that things won't go better if you just hide from the people around you, that you should make genuine connections with the people who care about you. Hibiya and Hiyori shows that there is always a way out during dire and hard situations. Momo shows that no matter how problematic your life is, that doesn't mean you can't help others solve their own problems. Together, they had a connection that helped them see the beauty about the lonely world they live in. That doing things all alone isn't the answer. If you're lonely, we can repaint it into together. Even though the world is scary, wouldn't it be brighter if we aren't afraid to go? That a world where you have someone is better than a world without. This is what I think the Kagerou Project is about. Sayero was the truck driver.
Driving in my car right after a beer. Hey, that bomb is shaped like a deer. DUI, how about you die? I'll go 100 miles in an hour. Little do you know, I filled up on gas. I'm a kid, you're about to make an ass. Pulverize this fog with my cooking truck. It seems you're out of luck.
And that wraps up all the entries for Project 8.15, bringing this project to a close. And I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to everyone in the Discord server who shared their suggestions and helped make this iceberg even better. I'm genuinely satisfied with how it all turned out in the end, and I'm grateful that I get to experience this project with my fellow Kagerou fans. The Kagerou Project holds a very special place in my heart, and that's exactly why I created this iceberg. There were so many entries that I wanted to explore in greater depth, but the time constraints made it very difficult. Hopefully, I can dive into those in future videos, if I do end up making future videos. But I definitely plan to make more Kagerou content soon, and I really hope that this video reaches more people and inspires them to check out this amazing story. But for now, it's time to say goodbye to this summer once again. Thank you to all my followers on TikTok who made this video possible, and to the amazing community in the Discord server. And of course, thank you Jin for creating this stunning story. And once again, I am Konuhara, your Kagerou obsessed idiot. And happy Kagerou Day!
なんでもね。
おーい、何イチャついてんだ。
ほんと、こんだけ暑いってのに勘弁してほしいよね。
そんなんじゃないって。慎太郎、行こう。
お。
「